In the heart of a rural southern town, where the scent of magnolias and the whispers of ancestral spirits danced on the breeze, lived a pair named Elijah and Ruby. Elijah, a strong and determined man, bore the weight of history on his shoulders, his ancestors having toiled under the oppressive sun of plantation fields. Ruby, with skin kissed by the southern sun and a voice that echoed like hymns in a church, carried within her the resilience of a people who had survived the storms of injustice. The year was 1922, a time when the winds of change swept through the South. Folks sought new beginnings in the bustling cities where entrepreneurship promised freedom. Elijah, a carpenter with dreams that stretched as wide as the southern horizon, arrived in the town deeply rooted in the spirit of the land. Ruby, a skilled seamstress whose hands told stories through needle and thread, hailed from a family of artisans whose crafts wove tales of triumph and sorrow. Elijah and Ruby, with their distinct yet harmonious rhythms, found themselves at a community gathering where the aroma of southern cooking mingled with the secrets whispered by the wind. Their eyes met, and the spirits of their ancestors rejoiced, recognizing the harmonious melody of their connection. It was a love that blossomed naturally, as if the roots of their family trees had intertwined through the ages. But love, especially for those whose history bore the marks of systemic injustice, was never a smooth path. An vile person emerged, a figure named Augustus, a wealthy landowner whose family had profited from the suffering of Elijah's ancestors. Augustus, resistant to change and disdainful of the rising African-American entrepreneurs, sought to disrupt their burgeoning love. In the quiet corners of the southern town, where Spanish moss hung like spectral curtains, Augustus, a figure of wealth and influence, plotted against the burgeoning love of Elijah and Ruby. His disdain for change and his prejudices ran deep, rooted in the soil of privilege that had flourished in the South for generations. Augustus, a master manipulator, planted seeds of insidious rumors that took root like kudzu in the minds of the townsfolk. Whispers floated through the air like the soft hum of cicadas on a summer night. Word spread that Elijah harbored intentions that sought to disrupt the established order, that Ruby's family carried a shadowy history that would tarnish the genteel reputation of the town. The rumors coiled around the hearts of the community, poisoning perceptions and instigating mistrust between families that had coexisted for decades. With a subtle hand, Augustus erected invisible barriers that restricted Elijah and Ruby's paths. Unseen forces manipulated the very fabric of opportunity, steering Elijah away from lucrative contracts and potential business partnerships. Ruby found herself excluded from social circles where influential decisions were made. These barriers, unseen by the naked eye, were nonetheless potent, stifling the growth of their dreams and suffocating the potential of their love. Augustus, adept at pulling strings from the shadows, manipulated circumstances with Machiavellian precision. Elijah's carpentry projects, once flourishing with promise, suddenly encountered mysterious setbacks and inexplicable delays. Ruby's burgeoning sewing business faced a series of unfortunate incidents that hindered its expansion. It was as if the very air carried the scent of Augustus's interference, an invisible hand orchestrating a symphony of setbacks that cast a shadow over the prospects of Elijah and Ruby. In the taverns where the juke joint melodies clashed with the whispers of ancestral spirits, Augustus worked tirelessly to ensure the separation of the two lovers. He wielded his wealth and influence like a weapon, intent on preserving the status quo that had granted him privilege while obstructing the aspirations of those who dared to challenge it. As the invisible barriers tightened and the rumors coalesced into a pervasive fog, Elijah and Ruby found themselves caught in a web of adversity. Augustus reveled in the discord he had sown, confident that he could extinguish the flame of their love beneath the weight of systemic oppression. The ancestral spirits, watching from the shadows of the southern moss-laden trees, felt the agony of their descendants. They whispered through the rustling leaves and the distant howls of the bayou. The spirits knew that the conflict embedded in this love story mirrored the broader struggles of a people seeking liberation and self-determination. For 3 long years, Elijah and Ruby danced on the precipice of each other's lives, their love held hostage by the chains of history. Ruby, with the wisdom passed down through generations, sought solace in the traditions of her family, finding strength in the quilts her grandmother had crafted with threads of resilience and hope. Elijah, a carpenter by trade and a dreamer by heart, sought counsel from the spirits in the quiet moments beneath the southern stars. He carved wooden tokens infused with the spirit of his ancestors, seeking guidance and strength to overcome the obstacles that Augustus had erected. In the depth of their separation, the ancestral spirits wove stories of triumph and resistance, urging Elijah and Ruby to draw upon the strength of their lineage. Ruby, guided by the ghostly echoes of quilting circles and ancestral lullabies, found courage to defy the invisible chains that bound her. The climax of their love story unfolded in the shadows of the bayou, a place where the history of pain and the promise of liberation converged. Elijah and Ruby, fueled by the ancestral spirits, confronted Augustus and his malevolent schemes. The spirits, stirred by the determination of their descendants, cast a spectral light upon the truth, revealing Augustus's deceit. With the revelation, the ancestral spirits unleashed a wind of change, scattering the remnants of Augustus's machinations. Elijah and Ruby, no longer bound by the shadows of the past, embraced each other beneath the southern moonlight, their love a testament to the resilience of a people who had weathered the storms of history. Elijah and Ruby, now united, forged a path forward, their footsteps echoing through the southern pines. Their ancestors, content that their legacy lived on in the love of Elijah and Ruby, faded into the shadows of the Spanish moss, their whispers becoming a gentle breeze that carried the story of triumph across generations. Southern Tapestry was a promise, an unwavering commitment by Elijah and Ruby to honor their past, celebrate their present, and build a future where the echoes of their ancestors would forever reverberate in the rhythm of their love. And as the sun set over the small southern town, the spirits of Elijah and Ruby's ancestors danced in the twilight, the quilt of their love now a cherished masterpiece woven into the fabric of southern history.